Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a couple of weeks since you last saw me. A lot has been happening, but here I am. How has life been with you lately? What has been happening? Anyway, I want to say a big welcome back to my previous subscribers. You guys are the real deal. Thank you for staying put. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. And if this is your first time of coming across this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. On this channel, I talk about my life experiences, my life as a first-time mom to an adorable little girl, and I also share baby-led winning recipes as I've just started to win my baby. She's 8 months old, and it's been an exciting journey. There's been lots of learning and unlearning, and I'm just enjoying every bit of it. So if this is the kind of content that excites you, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. In today's video, I'll be talking about intertribal marriages, what people do not really tell you. Now, intertribal marriages are very beautiful marriages. I love them. I love it for the fact that, there's this burst of culture, the burst of tradition, a particular tribe blending with another tribe, and they just create something beautiful. If you don't know, I'm from the southwestern part of Nigeria. Omo Yoruba ni mi o. And I'm married to a very wonderful Igbo man. Yes, he's from the east, and it's been an exciting journey being married to my husband. Of course, I know that intertribal marriages are not always rosy. There's been lots of things you can read on social media. And sometimes if you actually base your attention on what you see on social media, there are a lot of things that you'd actually not do. But aside that, I think spending a couple of years in this marriage has taught me, certain things that I never really thought was going to be a big deal when it comes to intertribal marriages. Now, one of this is language barrier. Of course, I knew that language was going to be a barrier when we're talking about intertribal marriages. I love the kind of family I come from. They are very supportive. So when I mentioned that this was where I found happiness, my dad did not have an issue with it. My mom did not have an issue with it. It was just a very beautiful, connection and all that. Like I mentioned, one of the issues with intertribal marriages is the language barrier. I know we say, yes, we can communicate with English language and all that, but I think if preserving of your local language is a priority to you, you might want to reconsider. The reason being that if you get married to someone from another tribe that doesn't speak the same language as you do, you would be limited in terms of the language you speak. So you're going to speak English language or you're going to speak Pidgin. Pidgin is not indigenous to a particular tribe in Nigeria. And so when you have kids, I think that's where the issue comes in. When you have kids, what language are they going to learn? Are they going to learn English language? Are they going to learn Pidgin? Or what exactly? So the language barrier is there. And, I was speaking with a friend recently, and that was actually what prompted this video. We're talking about some of the challenges that people who, are in intertribal marriages face. And it happens to be the language barrier. I grew up in a home where my both parents speak the same language. So it was very easy to learn the language because that was like the basic language in the home. So whenever I'm back home, that's what we communicate with. And learning that language did not impair my ability to speak good English. I actually envy that because, there's this vibe that comes with when you're with your parents, you can speak your language, especially maybe when you're in public and you don't want the next person to hear what you're saying to your maybe siblings or your parents. It's just nice. And we have this whole parenting vibe back home where we say your parent can actually use their eye to speak to you, you understand? It's the same thing with language. So if you're with maybe some visitors and your mom or your dad wants to instruct you to do something, they do not have to say it in English language that person would understand, assuming the person is not from your tribe. So you can just, say it and the child, carries out the instruction that has been given and everything just goes on smoothly. So I actually enjoy that. I remember an incident that happened last year. We were actually in the public transport. And there was this amazing couple seated beside I and my husband, and they were actually speaking their language. Now, these people were not from Nigeria. In fact, they were not even from Africa. But I enjoyed the way they were speaking to themselves in their local language. And I told my husband, oh, I really miss this. I wish we had, some kind of coded language we could speak in. You understand? Even Pidgin English is becoming very rampant now, so people understand it. Now, he also said the same thing to me and said, oh, yeah, I really wish we had a coded language we could communicate in and all that too. And I said, oh, I thought I was the only one who thought about that. He said, no, he also, sometimes he misses that. And I said, yeah, I do too. So, when you want to gossip, you don't have to speak, you have to speak little. Sometimes we just have to do the gossip over the phone. Now, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, couples gossip now. Don't you? You do. So when I was speaking with my friend, I mentioned what language is the child going to learn? And I'm speaking in terms of my own experience. I know some people will say that our local languages do not have economic value, but I still feel even the English language we speak is indigenous to some other person. So why can't we try to just preserve our own language? I think you have to take some intentional steps to help the child speak a particular language. Maybe enrolling the child for some extra classes for the particular language you want the child to speak and all of that. So that's one issue with intertribal marriages. Another issue is going to be the issue of culture and tradition. Now, intertribal marriages are beautiful, like I mentioned, and the whole blend of culture is very exciting. If you attend a Yoruba and Igbo wedding, when you get home, you think about it. Are you sure? I don't want to have this kind of it because it's so beautiful to see. I'm not saying same tribe marriages are bad. I'm saying it's beautiful, but there's also this vibe that comes with intertribal marriages when you attend maybe a Delta person and a Northerner. The whole burst of culture is beautiful. But after the whole dancing and all of that, and you get home, realization hits. If you're someone who is very diehard about preserving your culture, you might want to think twice if you want to get into intertribal marriage, because it's not going to be easy. Like I mentioned, I'm from the southwestern part of Nigeria and my husband is an Igbo man. We all know that the Yoruba part, we love respect so much. The whole dobale, kneeling down and all of that. Now, when my husband goes to see my parents, he dobales. He's not going to come and want to, extend a handshake. In his own culture, I don't think he needs to dobale to anybody. I don't need to kneel down to anybody in his culture. Do you understand? So I feel intertribal marriages actually need a lot of compromising. So if you're someone who finds it difficult to bend to other people's culture, you might want to reconsider that. Now, I know I used to have a friend who mentioned that he actually can't get married to someone from another tribe. I am not holding that against him, and I won't call that tribal racism. No, I won't do that. I just feel certain things are more important to some people than it is to some other person. And now, embracing culture is not just in terms of greeting, it's also in terms of dressing, it's also in terms of food, and some unspoken cultural differences that actually exist. My husband, for example, in terms of food, he's very open-minded. He loves amala a lot. Sometimes he'll be like, oh, baby, it's been a long time you made amala. When are we going to have amala again? I remember when we were back home in Nigeria, sometimes we'll go to some sardine mama put back then to go and eat amala and ewedu agbegiri. So he already embraced the culture. I saw that, oh, this was not going to be an issue to this person. And so and then I also embraced the culture. I grew up in the south part of Nigeria. I was very conversant with their food, oha soup, ofe owere, ofe nsala, and all of that. Although some of them I do not know how to make them before I got married to my husband. Like make them like a traditional, now. But I put in the effort and I learned, and I'm really enjoying it. If you ask my husband, one of my favorite soup is oha soup. I love oha soup so much. The way I love you would not believe that I am the Yoruba person in the marriage. And the way he loves amala, you will not believe that he's the Igbo person in the marriage. So intertribal marriages actually comes with lots of sacrifices. And then there are some gray areas in the marriages that really sometimes are not spoken about. And it's just, it has to just be you and your spouse deciding on what you want to do in that regard. Intertribal marriages actually require a lot of work to make it happen. I know same tribe marriages have their own challenges. Language might not be a problem in same tribe marriage, except maybe one of the spouse doesn't know how to speak the language and all that. Then that might be where the issue comes in. But aside that, it's all good. So in retrospect, I've been married to my husband for almost 3 years now, and I've known him for more than that. I think if you're going to be doing intertribal marriages, know what your priorities are. You know, determine if you are going to be able to do intertribal marriages, or if your priorities actually support intertribal marriages. And also, you should understand that there's going to be lots of learning and unlearning, and then you should learn to take things quite a little less seriously. We know that the Igbo people would likely call the Yoruba people Ofe Manu. And the Yoruba people will call the Igbo people Omo Igbo, you know, all of that. So in my home, we yab ourselves. Yes, my husband will yab me Ofe Manu, I'll yab him to Omo Igbo, and all of that. You need to take some certain things less seriously. And then another thing, you need to learn to respect the other person's culture, which is very important. I know that from the Igbo culture, they love to travel back home a lot. Yeah, like during festive activities or festive period, they love to do that, traveling back home. So I have gotten to see that with my husband. Although my husband, I won't say he's a very traditional Igbo man, but you will still see that traces of, you know, he's an Igbo person and all of that. They value family. We also value family. I extend my respect to his family. He extends the same to mine. And we just try as much as possible to live peacefully. Also, in intertribal marriages, you're going to learn to overlook certain things. Now, when I say overlooking certain things, for example, your spouse is on the phone and they're speaking their language with their siblings, with their mom, you shouldn't try to, you know, always read meaning into things, because you're just going to develop high blood pressure pretty early. I know, yes, sometimes when those conversations are going on, you might feel, are they trying to sell me? Are they trying to buy me? And all of that. But what I have done, and I think has actually helped me, is the fact that I know that my husband knows better not to sell me. My husband knows better not to sell me. So if he's having this conversation with these people, good and fine. So if you're in intertribal marriages, I'll actually love to read or hear from you. How has it been? What are some of your coping mechanisms? And if you have the opportunity, will you do it again? Yes, I would actually want to know. If you have the opportunity to maybe take back the hands of time, would you actually marry someone from another tribe, or you stick to your tribe? And so we'll be calling it a wrap here. If you've watched up to this point in this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and please share this video. I would also like to read from you. Please drop a comment in the comment section. And until I see you guys again, it's all love from here. Bye.